In this video, let us discuss regarding the organization theories. Organization theories are classified into three as classical organization theory, neoclassical organization theory, and modern organization theory. Let us study each of these in detail. The classical organization theory represents the traditionally accepted views about the organizations. That is, organization was viewed as a machine and human beings were considered just as components of machine. No humanitarian consideration was given. They were not at all considered as human beings with mind and thoughts. And actually, it is the beginning of the systematic study of organizations. The important propounders of classical organization theory, they actually concentrated on organization structure for the achievement of organization goals. They focused on input-output mediators and they give no attention to the humanitarian concepts. That is, they did not consider the human beings in the organization as human beings. They were just treated as machines. The classical theory incorporates three viewpoints, that is, the scientific management of Taylor, then the administrative management or the process management advocated by Henry Fayol, and the bureaucratic model given by Max Weber. They were the important persons who contributed to the classical organization theory. They gave importance to the organization structure and all, and they ignored the part of human beings' mind. Now let us discuss the key pillars of classical organization theory. Almost all the persons who contributed to classical theory, they contributed these many points. And the most important one is division of work. And it implies that work must be divided to obtain a clear-cut specialization to improve the performance of workers. So they concentrated on division of work and then scalar process, and that means the growth of the chain of command, delegation of authority, unity of command, and the obligation to report from the bottom to the top. So process that process must go on like that. That was their opinion. And then comes the functional process or departmentation. It deals with the division of organization into specialized departments and regrouping of parts into compatible units and all. So the functional process focused mainly on the horizontal evolution of line and staff in an organization. Then comes the organization structure. It is the logical relationship of functions in an organization and it is arranged to accomplish its objectives efficiently. The classical writers emphasized two basic structures, line and the staff. However, the committee also fall quite easily into the purview of structural considerations. And then coming to the span of control, it means the number of subordinates a manager can effectively supervise. This concept directs attention to the complexity of human and functional interrelationships in an organization. And then the part that was given least attention was the human behavior in the organization. Human beings in the organization are taken as an instrument performing the tasks assigned to them. The socio-psychological and motivational aspects of human behavior have been ignored completely or to some extent in this theory. The physiological satisfaction is taken as the basis of work performance and efficiency. The neoclassical organization theories were propounded to overcome the limitations of the classical theories. So, the neoclassical theory deals with the human factor. This theory consists of two approaches. The first one is human relations approach. Elton Mayo and Rutlisbergs contributed mainly to this approach. And the second approach is behavioral science approach. Maslow, McGregor, Herzberg, Broom, etc. contributed to this approach. Now let us check out what was the contribution of each of these persons to the neoclassical theory. First, regarding Mayo, he was the first person to think about the human being's mind. He was the first person to consider the human beings actually as a human being. That is why he is called father of human relations movement. His ideas were a turning point in human relations approach. He recognized the importance of human factor in management. The social and psychological needs of human beings cannot be ignored. He understood that point. And then he also gave importance to the non-economic awards. Taylor was of the opinion that people were motivated by economic awards or monetary gains only. But Elton Mayo said that techniques of economic incentives were not only inadequate but also unrealistic. He was able to show that humane and respectful treatment and sense of participation, belongingness, recognition, morale, pride, prestige, social interaction are also more important than pure monetary rewards. Then Mayo developed a concept of social man. He said that man is basically motivated by social needs and obtains his sense of identity through relationships with others. He is more responsive to the social forces of the poor group rather than managerial incentives and controls. He also related the productivity to a social phenomenon. And then Mayo was of the opinion that the informal relationships in the organization are more effective than the formal relationships. So he brought the concept that organization is actually a social system where many human beings interact with each other. Now, regarding the behavioral science approach, Maslow, McGregor, Herzberg, and Likert were the major contributors. Let us check what were their contributions. Maslow contributed the need hierarchy theory. McGregor contributed theory X and theory Y. Lickard's contribution was the different management styles, and Lickard suggested that participative management was very important in the field of decision making. He classified the management styles into different categories like exploitative autocratic, benevolent autocratic, participative, and democratic styles. And then Herzberg's contribution was the two-factor theory. The modern organization theory consists of two approaches. The first approach is the systems approach. This approach looks upon the management as a whole system. So, the organization is a big system that is made up of different subsystems. These subsystems are integrated into a single unit, which is the organization in totality. Therefore, attention must be given to the overall effectiveness of the system rather than the effectiveness of any one subsystem in isolation. The main thrust of this approach is interdependence of the subsystems and the interrelatedness of the various subsystems. So, in this approach, it is said that organization is a big system that has got many parts. These parts must not be taken in isolation. It should be thought of as a whole system. And then coming to the contingency approach, it is said that there is no best way to handle all management problems. different problems may arise in different situations, and the managers must try to solve all these problems according to the situation or according to the contingency that arise. We cannot predict what is going to happen, what problem is going to arise in the future. Whatever problem arises, the manager must try to solve it according to the situation. Then there is no particular organization structure that is suitable to all the situations. Therefore, it is the duty of the manager to customize the organization structure according to the requirement of the particular organization. So that's all about the different organization theories. Thank you for watching this video. For more videos, you can subscribe the channel.